Hi everyone, Ash Nightingale here from Highest Level Life, and I'm checking in once again from my workshop here in Cornwall in the UK. And today I'd like to talk about some of the useful things I've found along the way on my online business journey, some of the mistakes I've made, and hopefully you guys can take some value from that and learn from the things that I've done right or wrong along the way. It's always great to learn from other people's mistakes instead of your own. So the first thing that I've found has been really helpful to me along the way has been getting up extra early. So everybody is struggling for time, and I found that if I go to bed half an hour earlier and get up an hour earlier, then I lose half an hour of sleep, which I can generally just about cope with, and it gives me an extra hour of working time in the morning. So I usually find the last half an hour to an hour in the evening is pretty much dead time anyway, as I'm pretty tired at that point. So I feel like I've turned a bit of dead time into some actual usable time in the morning when I wake up and feel quite fresh. So that's a great way to get started and give yourself some extra time in your schedule. The next thing I've found to be really useful is really focusing on my self-discipline. So again, getting up early in the morning, I suppose, is a form of self-discipline because it's not always that easy. But other things like reducing the amount of alcohol that I'm taking into my body, and also focusing on my nutrition. So all of those little self-discipline things, also just being really focused with the work that I'm doing, I found that's been really helpful over time. The next thing I'm going to talk about is about allocating funds for your business. So when I first started with my online business, I thought, well, I've got some spare income, so at the end of the month, whatever I've got left over, I'm going to put that into my online business venture. But what I realised is that all of my money was getting soaked up into other things if I didn't actually allocate it to my online business. So what I'd suggest, what I found useful, is to actually say, right, this month I can afford to spend this much, or every single month I can afford to spend this much, and as soon as the money comes in, allocate that, pay it to one side, pay it into a savings account, pay it into a company bank account, whatever you've got to do to effectively ring fence that money, and then whatever you've got left over is your available spending money, if you like, for the rest of the month, or whatever else you do with your own personal finances. But that's the way I've found that it works. Just like savings, you have to put it aside at the beginning of the month rather than waiting until the end of the month. So the next thing is sticking to one project at a time, and this is where I have made a mistake over my online business journey by taking on too much, really. So I was looking to Amazon, selling on Amazon FBA, and I've also gone down the road of affiliate marketing as well, and alongside having various woodworking projects on the go here in my workshop. And really I got to the point where I was quite honestly spread way too thin, and I was unable to do any of those things effectively. And luckily now I've got to the point where I've ticked off a few of those things, and I'm feeling like I'm back to the point where I have enough that I can cope with it, but not too much to be overwhelmed. But my advice to learn from my mistake would be to just really take on one or maybe two at the most things, and really focus on getting those things sorted to the best of your ability before moving on to any other projects, and really putting your energy and time and focus into getting that one project really nailed before moving on to anything else. The next thing is to write stuff down. So it sounds quite straightforward, but I find that it really helps me to write stuff down if I have ideas, to write everything down on a piece of paper, and it also helps you internalize the information. And I like to write these things down, things I found useful, and just stick it on my wall in my bedroom, and it keeps it fresh in my mind and keeps it right there in front of me so that I can see it every day, and it can keep going in, and I can keep learning from it and keep those things that I found useful, those really good bits of information, keep them fresh in my mind. The next thing would be to generally look after yourself. So like I said about getting up in the morning, early in the morning, I found for a while I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning and I was reaching for my laptop straight away. First thing I was doing is reaching for my laptop and going, right, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? And after a couple of weeks of doing that, I started to realise actually I wasn't really feeling that great in myself. And so I've come to the conclusion that actually the best thing for me personally when I get up in the morning at 5:30 is to spend the first 20 minutes or half an hour actually just focusing on me, just practicing gratitude, meditation, affirmations, trying to get myself into that positive mindset ready for the day, setting myself up so that I can feel good. So that's just a case of, actually looking after myself ahead of my online business, and then when I'm feeling good, right, great, get stuck into the online business stuff. And also that extends to nutrition and making sure you drink plenty of water and proper sleep and everything else that generally is looking after ourselves and making sure that we're going to feel good. The last thing I would talk about is gratitude. Like I just mentioned, part of my morning ritual now is to practice gratitude, and that just helps us feel grateful for everything that we've got, whether it's just waking up alive today, or whether it's a job that you've got which sometimes you hate, but actually it's helping you get where you need to go. So I've really found that gratitude is a powerful way to just improve your outlook on life, and again, just help you feel good and just help you move towards your online business journey. So on the point of gratitude, thanks very much everyone for watching, and I'm really grateful for all of you guys out there. I hope to catch you in the next video.